Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Still I Rise podcast. I'm your host, Lisa McKenzie, founder of Unite Empowering Events. I am so honored to be here today with you as we introduce you to some amazing everyday heroes who will be sharing their inspiring stories of how they persevered after a life-altering event. The stories that we are sharing come from a unique narrative therapy program we created called Storycrafting. It's a small group 6-week experience that challenges participants to revisit a time in their life when life changed. Yes, you will hear about their hardships, but you will also hear how these amazing individuals persevered and found silver linings. Many of our participants are nervous to share, and they know they're being vulnerable with you, but they each said that they wanted to share because it's their hope that maybe their stories will inspire others and help somebody else persevere also. I'm joined by my amazing co-host, Debbie Tongi, who is our program director, and we can't wait for you to meet our story crafters. Thank you for tuning in. Please share this podcast with others.
I'm Casey Fradella, and this is my story. In June of 2021, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, invasive ductal carcinoma. I had 4 surgeries since then. I was fortunate not to have any chemo or radiation. All 4 of my surgeries were at St. Tammany Parish Hospital. The recovery room and the surgery tech nurses were amazing. I'd also like to give a shout out to Dr. Bonagera. She was my breast surgeon. I do feel like she was a God wink to me. She had just moved back to Louisiana just a few months before I was introduced to her. And then I found out that she was also my granny surgeon years ago, and so I felt like she was sent to me. I also want to give a huge shout out to Dr. Tandon, my plastic surgeon. He took me apart, put me back together, and I'm forever grateful for him and his amazing nurse Shannon, who answered all of my millions of questions. I want to thank all of my family and friends for sticking by me through this crazy journey, but especially my husband, Bobby. He's my pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. He was there for everything, every doctor's appointment. He took all the notes, he asked all the questions. He made me a spreadsheet for my medicine. He was there for the good, the bad, and the very, very ugly. So thank you, Bobby. This journey has taught me so many things. Number 1, it's okay to let other people take care of you. I'm the one who always took care of other people, so it's okay to let other people take care of you. Life's too short. Do things that bring you joy. Take the trip. Have fun.
Hello, we are here with Casey Fradella. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes, that is correct.
And Casey came to our program in January of 2023. You were diagnosed with breast cancer, is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
And why did you come to Unite? What brought you to us?
I had seen some of my dear friends who have participated, and I feel like I'm at that point in my journey where I'm looking to share and I'm feeling more confident, and that's why I want to be a part of this.
That's awesome. And we have a lot of people who come into our program, and we ask them when they sign up on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 not feeling so great and 5 being awesome, how do you feel emotionally? Because we're an emotional healing program, and Storycrafting is an example of one of the ways that we provide a therapy through a group experience and narrative writing. So you put yourself as a 4, which is great. That means you are doing pretty good. How are you feeling today?
I would still say I'm a 4. I think there's always room for improvement. So hopefully we'll get to that 5 one day. But yes, I think 4 is pretty positive.
And through any of the things we've done, SCART, Candle Pass, story crafting, the video shoot, has anything helped you along your journey?
Oh, of course. I really enjoyed the story crafting, being with other people. I felt like just hearing other people's stories and just knowing that I'm not alone. We all have our own unique story, and that has really helped emotionally through this process.
Hi, Casey. This is Deborah Tongi. I'm the program director here at Unite, and we know you've gone through SCART, one of the big programs here, and now you just finished story crafting. And one of the first things that we ask you to do in story crafting is to really identify your challenge. Can you just tell the audience what your challenge was when you started writing?
The challenge in writing was
Not about writing, I'm sorry. Let me clarify that. Yeah, everybody hates writing. But the challenge that you wanted to write about.
So I think that it was important to share. At first, I did not want to share. How do you share that with your family and friends? But after some therapy, I learned that I think that that's the reason that I'm here. That's my purpose, is to share and to hear other stories too. And so I feel like that's kind of a part of my purpose, and that's what I'm here to do.
That's a great challenge to tackle. Another part of the story crafting is for you to identify a metaphor that really speaks to that challenge and kind of symbolizes it. What did you come up with?
So I came up with rainbows. Throughout my whole journey, I found hope with rainbows. I know we all go through thunderstorms, and hopefully at the end of that thunderstorm is always a rainbow to look forward to. So that's what kind of brought me joy and brought me through this.
Well, thank you so much. And without further ado, this is Casey Fradella, and the title of her story is Look for the Rainbows. Take it away, Casey.
Dolly Parton once said, "The way I see it, if you want the rainbow, you gotta put up with the rain." Throughout my cancer journey, there have been many storms that were so severe that I couldn't see past the rain. But Dolly reminds me that there is a rainbow after the most severe storms. So I've chosen to focus on the rainbows instead of the storms. Before cancer, I was clueless that this could happen to me. I was even the one who spent countless hours raising money for cancer research. I spearheaded fundraisers at my school for the American Cancer Society and St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. I even traveled to Memphis to participate in the St. Jude Marathon weekend as a St. Jude hero for donating money. And I fundraised for Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center, where I would be a patient years later. But I never imagined being on the receiving end. I had just turned 40 and in the best shape of my adult life. My 40s were going to be way healthier than my 30s. I will always remember the moment when I realized that things weren't just routine, and I would begin my cancer journey. I was in the middle of a breast ultrasound, and the tech kept going over the same spot over and over and over. That's the moment that it all began, and the emotions started to flow. I was scared, nervous, worried, and numb. Hearing those words, "You have breast cancer," has changed me, and now I will carry this with me for the rest of my life. I was just 40 years old. I scheduled a mammogram just a couple weeks after my 40th birthday because that's what I was supposed to do, right? I went to annual doctor's appointments and felt healthier than I had in years, but that didn't mean that I was immune to cancer. I don't have much family history, and there were no noticeable lumps or bumps, but the biopsy confirmed what was discovered during that dreadful ultrasound. So many questions began to run through my head. Is this really happening to me? Will I be able to get past this? How will I tell my family and friends? What does this mean for my daughters? Will I live in fear for the rest of my life, wondering if it will come back? The first year after my diagnosis, I was in fight mode. I had 2 major surgeries that year and spent most of the time recovering and searching for rainbows. I had a double mastectomy, and then 8 weeks later, I had my reconstruction surgery. I wasn't able to have the surgeries at the same time due to hospital protocols that year. So instead, I had 2 separate major surgeries to recover from in a short period of time, mixed in with a major hurricane only a week after my mastectomy that left me to recover without electricity. After those intense recoveries, I was able to see a glimpse at my future rainbow. I was able to go back to work, and life started to feel a little more normal. However, the following year, I had 2 more surgeries. So at times, I felt like I was driving back into the storm instead of finding that rainbow on the other side. Then I realized it was time to try to find me again. My body and my mind will never be the same. So I needed to find a new normal again and accept that cancer will always be a part of my life. That's tough. And some days, I still can't believe that this is my story. I also had to find my purpose. I believe that I was meant to share my story. If I can provide hope for just one person, then I have achieved my purpose. I continue to spread hope and joy in hopes that others can find their own rainbows. After all the storms the past 2 years, I am proud and honored to say that I found my rainbow and that I am cancer-free. That doesn't mean that my journey is over. There will be more storms, but I'm confident that there will also be more rainbows. One of the biggest lessons I learned through this journey is that life is too short. It's important to do things that bring you joy. So that is how I now live my life, full of joy and rainbows.
Casey, that was a beautiful story. And I can tell you from experience, just from working with you, that You are such a bright spot in this program, and you're somebody that we really look to be an important part of our program, and I can't wait to see you walk on the runway in October. And thank you so much for sharing your rainbow story.
Thank you for letting me have this experience that I didn't even know that I needed. So thank you.
You're welcome.